Okay, so new week, first day of hybrid learning. So hopefully today goes well. Let's dive right in, shall we? Today we're going to talk about interpreting and evaluating expression. So this is both the notes and the exit ticket. We're going to go through a few together, and then I'll leave you to do the rest on your own. So the biggest thing is being able to read these word problems for what they are, and then being able to identify at the bottom what all the different parts of this expression represent. So in example 1, Miss Maddox orders pizza for dinner. She orders X number of pizzas and Y number of drinks. Miss Maddox also had the pizza delivered to her house. The total amount of money spent on dinner can be represented by the following expression: 11.55x plus 1.5y plus 2.20. Notice it's an expression because there is no equal sign, right? So the question is, what does the 1155 represent? Okay, well, in order to know that, we have to first recognize that that's what's being multiplied by x, right? So what represents x? Well, if we look up here, it says she orders X number of pizzas. Okay, so X is pizzas, so 11.55 is the cost per pizza. Okay, and think about that. How do I know that? Well, because if I order 5 pizzas, I have to know how much it's going to cost me in order for me to figure out what my bill is going to be, right? So think about it that way. Okay, and then Y is the number of drinks. It says up here, Y is the number of drinks. Okay, so what does 1.5 represent? It is the cost per drink. Okay. And you got to be careful here. You don't want to say the total cost of drinks because we don't know that. It could be way more than $1.50 depending upon how many you buy. And you don't want to just write down it's drinks because that's not true either. It's the cost per drink. You have to be very specific. What does 1.5 represent? $1.50. No kidding. But why does it represent? Like, what is in terms of this problem? So what does the 2.2 represent? Well, it could be had the pizza delivered. Okay, so we're assuming here that it's not taxes or something along those lines, but I would guess that that is the delivery fee. As you know, there's typically a fee when you get something delivered. Okay, so it says what part of the expression will represent the total amount of money spent on just pizza? Okay, what part of the expression? And if you tell me 11.55, you're partially correct. Yes, that would be the total money spent on pizza if you only order one pizza. But since we don't know how many pizzas are ordered at this point, you put down an X. So it's 11.55x. If Miss Maddox ordered 2 pizzas and 1 drink, what's the total amount that she spent? This is awesome. We just get to plug it in. Or as I like to say, we get to plug and chug. So 2 plus 1.5, which is the cost of drinks, plus the delivery fee. Okay, so when you multiply those out, let's see. Well, I had a calculator here somewhere. So 11.55 times 2 is 23.10 plus $1.50 plus $2.20 gives you, let's see, 24.60, 26.60, 26.80, I think. I just did that in the top of my head, and I'm pretty sure that's right. Let's see. 2, 5 is 7 and 8. 2, 1, yep, 26.80. That's total cost. All right, example 2. Mr. Stepp stops at a candy shop to buy his fiancée some chocolates. He knows that she really likes caramels and truffles. He knows how much each type of chocolate costs per pound and how many pounds are in one box. He also knows that the price of the box of chocolates is $30, and that includes $1 for the cost of the box. If Mr. Stepp determines that there are X pounds of caramels in the box and that there are Y pounds of truffles, then he uses his amazing algebra abilities to write the following equations. Which is just not true, by the way, if anybody knows Mr. Stepp. So, using Mr. Stepp's equations and the information above to answer the following questions. How many pounds of candy are in the box? Okay, so it looks like there are, let's see here, let's read back through it. And that includes $1 for the cost of the box. Okay, so $30 is the total. Okay, $1 for the cost of the box. X pounds of caramels. Okay, and Y pounds of truffles. Okay, and then we have that the number of here it is. So if X is the number of pounds of caramels and Y are the number of pounds of truffles, well, if I add those two together, it tells me the total pounds. How many pounds are in the candy? 3 pounds. Okay, what is the price per pound of the caramels? Remember that caramels is X. So caramels is X, so that means the price per caramels is 8. What does the term 12y in the second equation represent? Now be careful here, because I've seen people in the past say 12 is the cost of truffles. And while yes, it is the cost of truffles, you have to remember that y is also the pounds of truffles. So if it's 12 and y put together, that is the total amount spent on truffles. And again, that's because you're multiplying 12 and y. Okay, so what does the 8x plus 12y plus 1 in the second equation represent? That represents, of course, the total amount spent. Okay, because if you think about it, you can remove the 30, right? Because right now we're saying the 30 is the amount that he spent. But what if he spent more than that? What if he spent less? It depends on how many truffles and how many chocolates he got, right? So because of that, we could use this expression to figure out how much he actually spent and whether or not it would be 30 or something else, depending upon the pounds. Okay. Let's see here. Last one. Number 3, Mr. Helmlinger is always working on his house. He needs a large amount of gravel to build an addition to his home. 2 different sized trucks make his gravel deliveries. The first truck can hold X yards of gravel, and the second can hold Y cubic yards of gravel. The first truck makes A trips. So A is the number of trips. X is the number of yards. Y is cubic yards. And B. Okay. Gravel, and Mr. Helmlinger in the second truck makes B trips to deliver gravel. Which of each of the following algebraic expressions tells us about this problem? Okay, well, I would say, yes, you could say X plus Y would tell you the total number of yards. Okay. So that's, it says what do each of them? I'm sorry. So X plus Y tells you the total number of yards. A plus B, okay, if A and B both represent the number of trips, so this is the total trips, right, if you include both of them. X times A is the total cost, or total spent, I should say. Total spent, let's see, with the first truck. Okay, so that means YB is the total spent with the second truck. And I apologize for the handwriting here. Okay, and so what does that mean when you combine C and D? That's the total spent. Okay, so then the question asks, if the first truck can hold 5 cubic yards of gravel and makes 3 trips. Okay, so first truck, XA. So 5 and 3. And the second truck can hold 7 cubic yards. It makes 4 trips. Okay, how much gravel did Mr. Helmlinger have delivered? 15 plus 28. 38 and 5 is 43. Let's see. amount of gravel, 2 different size trucks. The first truck can hold X yards. So there you go. 43 is the answer. Okay, so there is an extra example 4. We'll probably go through this in class. I want you to try that on your own if you're at home, and then we'll go over it to begin class tomorrow for Group B. But for Group A, we're probably going to go through this in class. In the meantime, you have an exit ticket to complete. I want you to go ahead and do that as well. Turn that into Canvas tonight. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing Group B tomorrow as early as possible. See you then.